Okay, here we are at the winter clothing drive. So this is where patrons walk in and they'll present their voucher, and then we've got signs marking where they go. Patrons will go on into the chapel where they will wait for their turn, and then volunteers will head down this room where we have an orientation room, and then this is where all the clothing will be sorted prior to the event. So these are the bales of clothing that came from Desert Industries, and they'll be sorted in here and then taken out onto the floor. So this is the sorting room. Down there we have our orientation room. But let's go back and follow the path of the patrons. Okay. So you walk in and you follow the arrows.
I've been ready for ages, but life just keeps moving.
So we walk in through here, and they can spend some time in the chapel. We'll have the missionaries in here greeting everyone. And then in groups of 20, they will come through. And here they will get a garbage bag, and all patrons are allowed to take as much as they can fit in a garbage bag. And here we enter into the gym, and it's basically like a giant used clothing store, and it's all for free. So we have women's on one side, and here we have coats, winter coats. And what you're seeing out here is probably 1/8 of all the clothing we received. So this will be continued to be restocked as the event goes on. But there we have men's coats, and then we have clothing piled up on the inside in different sizes, so people will walk through and sort through and find their sizes. So here's the different clothing. We also have children's clothing, and this is all warm winter clothing. The idea is to provide people warm clothing that may not be able to afford it or may be new to the area. We get a lot of refugees here, and this might be their first winter. So now we're going to follow the sign to where we can get some blankets. And we go through here. So we're going to go through to the boots and the hats. So this is the stop where it's the library, and this is where all the blankets will be stacked up. You can kind of see in this picture what it will look like. And all of those blankets are donated by people. So here's all the blankets from the Desert Industries, the church's actual blankets that they produce. And then these are all the beautiful handmade quilts. I used to make a lot in Young Women's, so it's cool to see these quilts where they came from. Okay, but following through, this is the hats and scarves. So we have hats and scarves and more hats. Gotta keep everyone warm. And last of all, we come to the boot room. So here we go through here. And tons of winter boots. We have children's boots here. We have women's boots. And then we have men's boots. So, and just to give you a little bit of an idea, so here you can see the room with all the boots set out. And then behind this partition here, we have all the loads of boots waiting to be unpacked and brought back in there. So altogether we have quite a bit of clothing for this event. It's going to do a lot of good. keeping people warm.